Good afternoon, Griffin Gators. Today is Wednesday, November 14th. I'm Ryan.
And I'm AJ. November 11th was Veterans Day. It is important to recognize the people who have served for our country. Let's go to Emma and Morgan for more.
Sunday was Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a public holiday held on the anniversary of the end of World War I to honor U.S. veterans and victims of war. We have some veterans on staff at Griffin.
We met with 2 veterans to see what this holiday means to them.
What does Veterans Day mean to you?
Veterans Day means to me is I look back on all the things that I went through as a veteran, and I also look at the friends I lost along the way and some of the ones that I still keep in contact. So it's a time I reach out and reflect on a career I once had.
Veterans Day to me is about honoring the sacrifice that members of the military have made to our country.
I served in the United States Air Force.
I served in the United States Air Force.
We would like to thank our veterans here at Griffin Middle School. From the Air Force, we have Officer Attaway, Mr. Brown, and Mr. Kreider, and from the Marines, we have Coach Broughton.
It's time to introduce new staff members here at Griffin.
I'm with Miss Pecina-Bryant, the new 8th grade ILA teacher, so we're going to ask you some questions. Where did you teach before Griffin, and what did you teach?
So before I was at Griffin, I taught at Pierce High School in Richardson, Texas. I taught the Gifted and Talented Humanities program for 9th graders, and I taught the Innovative program for 9th graders as well.
You worked at Pierce High School. What are some of the differences between your high school and middle school experience?
So I have to say, 9th graders I love, but they're already they have a little bit more hesitance with schoolwork. So they know what works for them, and they're a little bit worried about what doesn't work for them. So they're less inclined to try something different in you. 8th graders, you're fearless, you're fantastic, you jump into anything and everything, and there's not a hint of reticence about you. Your fearlessness is my favorite thing about 8th graders.
So we heard you love to read. What are some book recommendations you have for the GMS students?
Oh my goodness. So I'm going to sell this to you. Folks, pick up this series. It's called the Redwall series. It's by Brian Jakes. My favorite book in the series is Mossflower. It's a fantastic adventure story. There's a lot of heart in it. The characters are, the world that's built around them are so amazing and engaging, and you really get lost in the work and lost in the book. Pick it up. It's in the library, and it's fantastic.
Okay, last question. What's one fun fact about you?
So when I was working through college, I worked at Home Depot. My coworkers used to tell me that my laugh was so loud that they would hear me from one end of this giant warehouse all the way to the other, and they always knew when I was in the building if they could hear me laughing.
8th grade ILA expressed how they felt about certain topics using a different method.
8th grade ILA classes worked on slam poetry last week. Slam poetry is poetry that combines performance, writing, and emotion while persuading an audience. Students answered the prompt, "You don't know what it's like to be."
Don't call me short, don't call me a midget. I would roast you so hard I'll make you fidget.
So AJ, what's your favorite theme park ride?
To be honest, I haven't ridden that many. Maybe the go-karts. Did you hear about the roller coasters that 8th grade pre-AP Science created?
Let's take a closer look.
8th grade pre-AP Science recently did a roller coasters project to see how potential and kinetic energy affect the speed of an object.
We haven't been able to compare all of the data quite yet, but I do know that there were some roller coasters moving as quickly as about 1.5 meters per second on average, which was pretty fast. We've had lots of really intricate, complex, creative roller coasters this year. There were some that had several loops. We had some that were banking and spiraling around the room. So there were a lot of really interesting designs this year. Griffin's been using this project for at least the last 10 years or so. In the last few, we've only had pre-AP students using this project in class.
From GTRZ News, this is Kevin.
What's the most challenging thing about getting ready for this show?
Probably the hair and makeup and all of the costumes.
Probably like hair and makeup, I'd say. It's kind of hard to get that stuff on.
Probably everybody's like, trying to get ready for like their costumes, and there's only like a week left until the show starts, so, it's pretty cool.
What is the biggest challenge about taking on this role?
Probably how different, because my character acts dead, so it's hard to do that.
Probably having to be a mean guy.
Probably because it's very iconic and there's like a ton of different accents that goes into the character, and you know, it's hard to do them, so.
My favorite line of dialogue is when Cooper goes, "It's Lucas, Lucas."
Probably where Gomez is like, "Oh," and then I can't give anything away.
When you were in Addams?
I love that we're all like different eras.
That he's a mean guy.
I mean, it's Gomez. I mean, he's really cool. He's kind of like sway, if you know what that means. He's like really cool. You know, he's really laid back, and yeah.
Can we talk about Lofty Eagles? Shh. Let's not talk about Elsas. We're talking great.
The Griffin tennis team won the first match of the season last week. The Gators defeated Cobb Middle School by a score of 10-9. With the score tied at 9-all, Abby Hess won the final match by a score of 7-6 to secure the win for Griffin. This is the first time Griffin has defeated Cobb in a tennis match since Cobb Middle School opened in 2010. Congratulations to the Gator tennis team.
Tomorrow, Griffin boys basketball is at Staley and Griffin girls basketball is versus Staley here at Griffin. Games are at 5:30 for A team, 6:30 for B team, 7:30 for C team. All 8th grade games are in the main gym and all 7th grade games are in the small gym. We hope to see you there.
Hey Gators, basketball season just started. Let's go talk to Coach Rush to see what he expects this season.
Well, team success is going to come through hard work, everybody being dedicated to the goal and making sure that everybody has ample time to prepare. Well, winning's always fun. We like to win, but at the same time, being successful academically is going to be more important and will serve them more down the road. Well, because I like to work with kids, enjoy sports, and I like to be able to share any expertise that I have with these guys to help them grow. Well, you have a lot of kids that you have to deal with, and sometimes figuring out ways and being creative and how you get everybody involved is probably one of the most struggling parts.
The first cross-country meet is Wednesday, November 28th at 4:30 at Warren Park.
That's it for today's GTRZ News.
Have a great Thanksgiving break, and we'll see you December 5th.